Brad Eggert, welcome to the Security Equation. It is great to have you here in Palm Beach.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Brad, we go back a while.
We do.
I think we first met at a particular event on some ranch in Wisconsin, and you and I were both guests, and we shared a room, didn't know each other, and I couldn't even tell you how long ago that was.
That early 2000s.
Wow.
Goes
20-some
back,
years.
Yeah.
But similar backgrounds. You tell us more about how did you get into the event business? Why did you grow up thinking I want to be in events, or give us that background?
Yeah, I think it's like a lot of the folks on our team have a basis in athletics, participating and then getting involved on the business side, whether it's coaching or supporting. I went and got my degree in sport management thinking I would work in minor league baseball.
Nice.
Nothing sounded better than driving to a baseball park to go to work every day. During an internship, though, with the Southeastern Conference, I got introduced to large-scale events and what it takes to put those on, and just sort of started that pathway. After the internship, full-time job, doing that up in Lake Placid, New York, found my way out to Salt Lake City for the 02 games,
right.
Winter Games out there. And it was actually during that planning cycle that 9/11 occurred. Right. So everything took this security focus, priority. And that was really my first experience with all of that. But I just started following that path. And then when you and I connected and having conversations, just kind of became my primary area in which I was working.
That's awesome. You've held a number of roles within our organization.
I have.
Brad's currently the senior director for client experience on our consulting side. You're a contractor. You came in on the NCAA COVID stuff. I think we kind of brought you full time about then from memory. And then, you've been an event lead, a client experience lead for a ton of events for us, a bunch of different clients. And now you're managing people and trying to get you out of being the event lead. Talk about kind of that experience from going from a contractor and now in the role you're in today.
Yeah, it's probably the best part of the job was developing and continuing those relationships with the clients.
Yeah.
Just getting to know different folks, how they do things, how we can help make their process better and easier, more secure. And that was something that I took a lot of pride in maintaining those relationships. As I've transitioned into working with the team, I've had to make that mental shift of, all right, those relationships aren't being built with the clients anymore. I'm going to build them with all the individual team members,
right,
to find out where they want to go, what they want to do, and then help coach and share all of my experiences with the variety of clients that we have to make sure they feel taken care of.
Yep.
That we are overturning every stone, providing every opportunity, working with Paul Matthews and Gressotech Group on every technology that can be available to help make their events successful. So it's been the wide variety of events that you and I have been on a number together, others on the team, from golf events to a rodeo in Wyoming to tech conferences to reopening Manchester Arena after the tragedy following the Ariana Grande concert. So it's been a wide variety and lots of folks to work with. And I think that's where our team has been really successful, is taking the time to learn the pain points that our clients are experiencing.
Right. You mentioned a rodeo in Cheyenne. When you first said rodeo, I was thinking of an event we did way back in Las Vegas with Uber. That felt like a rodeo also.
That I think you've heard me use this term before, a goat rope. That is a little bit of craziness. That the Showtime series Superbad on series episode 2 was a pretty close reenactment of what was happening out there at the time, and it was a rodeo.
You still have, Sue Neal at GPJ. She's still there. She was our point of contact. John Archer, who was with Uber at the time, he's now over at Palo Alto Networks, and we're in touch with him.
Carla Gray,
like some people in that event. I mean, I don't know, 5 or 6 different hotels. I mean, we had bought out clubs, sent quick response teams out to a lot of different clubs to make sure the Uber employees didn't get in too much trouble. And then culminated with Beyonce at the Palm, which was
helicoptered in from the airport
right
to the Palms.
Right. It was like
crazy.
A crazy event. So talk a little bit about why our Stratoscope Consulting division, the differentiators, and when you go with a new client to kick something off, what are the things that you have to help the client understand that are the skills that our team can bring to the table and what our focus is?
Yeah, for a lot of our clients, they've never worked with a security consultant before. So in their head, they think they're getting security guards and experienced managers of those guards.
Right.
But as anyone who's been listening to the podcast and knows what we're doing, we're not a guard company.
Right.
We work with all of them and appreciate what they bring to the table, but we sit down and dig into the planning process and ask the questions that, their guard companies aren't asking. They're looking for what time, what days, how long. All right, we got you.
Right.
But we want to understand what the makeup of the event is, right? who are the clientele? Who are the attendees? Are they internal? Are they external? Is this public facing? Is this an event that is available to the public? To understand what they're trying to accomplish. And then we start digging into the venue, what a perimeter looks like, what the arrival profile, ingress looks like, how long are we going, egress, and we ask questions. And a lot of times for first-time clients, it is a process,
right?
Because they don't understand why we're asking the questions.
Yeah.
But invariably, we get to the end of an event, and at somewhere along the line, they have the aha moment that you're looking out for us.
Right.
You're looking out for me as your client, and you're not trying to get into my business. You're trying to help keep my business safe, and they really appreciate that.
In the early days when we started, this process and this way of trying to develop, and I can remember sitting down with certain clients and be like, who's doing the credentials? We need to talk to them. And most were like, why? Like, why do you need to be involved? Right? And we're like, well, we'd like to keep your perimeter safe, and we'd like the guards to actually know what to expect and what's allowed and what's not allowed, and how am I going to secure this room? So it was kind of, it's gotten better, I think, but I think it's still a challenge with new events, new production companies to talk about why are we focused on something like a credential? That's not a security matter.
We're not having that challenge with large clients who have transitioned over and recognize what we bring to the table. What we're seeing, and just in the last 6 months, we have a number of new clients who their event has gone from 200, 500, mostly employees,
right,
to now they're in the thousands, some of them pushing, the 5 figures, 10, 12,000 people that they've never had to worry about a credential before, right? It's a name tag type event.
Right.
So they're transitioning from a name tag event to a credential and understanding what those access levels are, timing. And so when they get educated, again, we talk about the aha moment. It's like, now I get what you're asking.
Right. I remember one particular client, we're in Chicago, and actually Paul Matthews was with me at that event. And through the planning process, this client just struggled with, I have a production company. Why are you on all these calls? Like, why? Like, okay, I know we're going to have security, but why are you involved in this? And it was literally like the last day of load in, day one of the event, the following day. I'm walking back to the ops center, and I see her, and she stops me, and she goes, I get it. Your team brings problems to my attention faster than my team or my production counterparts, because you're looking at it from a different lens.
Yeah.
Hey, that hallway isn't going to work, or these doors may not work, because the art of what the consulting team does is really the crowd movement, crowd management, line management, make it a great experience. Where do you find the most struggles in that side of the business when you're working with new clients?
getting them to understand what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Which ultimately is their goal. But it's unless they've experienced the pain of losing an escalator or losing a door or quickly transitioning to egress after an ingress.
Right.
Not that we want any of our clients to experience the pain, but they have to on some level so they can understand why we are putting all these plans in place, and secondary plans and tertiary plans. Because yes, you think it's a great idea that you've got a 5,000 person event space on a second floor, but you've only got 2 escalators to get them up there.
Right.
Then you've got narrow hallways. So working with the programming team, right? Because now we move a little bit beyond the production agency and we're way inside the perimeter, so no one thinks security should be involved. But now all of a sudden you have a 10,000 person event who are all on the same floor and everything starts and ends at the same time.
Right.
So now all of a sudden you are mixing all 10,000 of those people in hallways that are designed to handle maybe 2,000 at a time.
Yeah.
So getting them to understand the staggering of start times and alternating rooms. So I think we've used computer modeling a little bit to talk through not only on one level, but multiple levels. We do it a lot in the stadium design to see that, to get them to understand that it's not just because we want to insert ourselves, or it's not because, we want to get more hours talking through crowd management. It truly comes down to attendee safety.
And we really want to meet those event objectives, right? And it's making sure that keynote room and those breakout rooms and all that run really smoothly and efficiently. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's, in the business conference space, that's everybody's goal. It's no different than in the stadium. You're going to a game or you're going to a concert. It's that start-end time and moving people. It's a little different when you're in a convention center and you've got all these different rooms and only a limited hallway. And
we want to, we share it with our clients all the time. We want your attendees to remember the content.
Right.
Right? What were the top 3 things that the speaker was talking about, and let that be the buzz.
Yeah.
Not that it took me 35 minutes to get in and upstairs, or I couldn't leave that place for 45 minutes because there was nowhere to go. And now all of a sudden, the whole goal of your event and the content that you were producing is out the window. They're talking about the experience.
It's in the marketing world, in the business world, it's return on investment, right? They've put all this effort into getting these 10,000 people to come to this event, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, whatever the number is. And that takes a lot of investment on their side to get them there. Once they're there, we want them to have the best, safest, secure, so that they want to come back next year. Right. And now we've improved that return on investment because you got repeat attendees because they're like, that was a great event. Right. And sometimes our security counterparts don't understand how to have that conversation with their event leadership or business leadership to say, if we spent a little more over here, we wouldn't have to spend as much to go and attract the attendee.
Right.
Where's Stratoscope Consulting going? You have your client experience team, you have the vendor experience team, you've got the project ops team. Where are we going from a consulting perspective? What do you see on the horizon? What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of growth, not only in number of full-time staff, but the way we've broken out this division of the company. We've grown our client base, so we've got to have the people in place to support them. So we've actually gone out and found some really experienced individuals and found the right role. Our client experience team is the one that is the day-to-day with the client, constantly interfacing, weekly meetings, involved in all the planning, and executing on site for them. Our staffing team is typically the one that has been working with all of the guard companies. We have now embraced the vendor experience because it's not just us contracting guards on behalf of our clients. It's making sure that downstream is a good interaction for everyone as well.
Right.
That everyone gets paid, the expectations are set, auditing guards on site so that clients are paying actuals and no ghost billing. So they're working very hard to continue to refine what those dot plans and staffing plans and invoicing all operates. Our project operations team is phenomenal. They are the true project managers. When you think of the project management professionals, these are the folks that have that experience that help guide the client experience team, keep the vendor experience team on track, and are interacting with our clients as well to make sure that all of the back end stuff is taken care of.
Yep.
So we've got that entire team that can engage based on the size of the engagement, and we've grown the number of people on each of those teams.
Yes.
So now we've got our infrastructure, human resources wise, in place. So it's not just 1 or 2 hour leads hopping one to the next and trying to get all the planning in and just burning the candle at all 5 ends of it. Can be really committed to each program, continuing to take care of themselves and be ready for the next one.
Plus your 300 plus contractors that are part of that family, right? I do want to touch on, we just looked at some numbers. January through May this year, the consulting division was involved in, I'm going to say 70 events.
Sounds about right.
When I saw the numbers, 66 of those are small events.
Yeah.
But people only think of Stratoscope when it comes to Google, Dreamforce, NVIDIA GTC. Where are we going? How do you feel about all these small events that we're doing? Is it too much of a resource drag? Do you want more small events? Where's the business going to go?
Yeah, I think it's going to go every direction, just because the demand is there. But so often we get called by prospective clients, people who have heard of us, and they know Stratoscope. And yes, it's that large event, and they see lots of people and logos and big operations centers. But it's really the consulting piece that we work with our clients to meet them where they are.
Right.
Not everyone has a 25, 30,000 person event that needs, a team of 10 full-time folks and contractors, 100 to 125, help supporting a guard force of 600. It's great, and we love those clients, and those are super fun events. But we have clients that we just have one person go on site with them,
right,
but are involved with all the planning. We doing risk assessments, determining what the posture should be. So we've had success where we engage once a year, right? 2 to 3 month planning as they lead up, and then execute, and great, and we'll see you again next year.
Right.
We have others that we've actually embedded resources with them, right? That may not have a large scale security department that they can rely on, but they're like, you've got some experienced people. You think we can contract them on a yearly basis and then help us kind of grow their team? And we've seen those teams then grow into a bigger security function. We rely on everything we have available to us to meet the client where they are. And it doesn't need to be, a 600 person deployment at a large scale event. We had an event 2 weeks ago. We had one of our full-time people go and support for a single day.
Yeah.
But it was kind of talk and plan ahead of time and be there as a resource to help, because they didn't really have a security department and they weren't sure. They know they needed security, but didn't really know how to engage. And those engagements are just fine for us as well.
Love it. So you're okay taking that phone call for the small event?
Anytime.
All right. Brad, I really appreciate you being here. It's been a great ride over 20 some years, knowing you and what you bring to the team, and watching your development from just the Southern gentleman into the leader that you are for our consulting division. So I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Dan. Thanks for having me.
I forgot to mention, college basketball referee.
I'm
so,
retired now.
but come on, don't leave that out. So if there's an event that you think there's some back and forth going on, we have the referee that can come in and make sure that all sides play fair.
Happy to do it.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you give me your best charge? How would you call the charge?
Oh, come on.
Was it behind the head?
Let's see it.
Was it behind the head through?
I mean, technically, that's what it's supposed to be.
What was yours?
You were a full punch through.
The thing is, you're asking me, but it's got to be situation,
I
right?
agree
Because if
with
it's a bang bang in the lane, I'm
agree
probably
with
going to hop sideways a couple times and give you one of these.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
But
yes.
if it's just easy down the lane and he's standing there and he comes in like a big bull and just runs him over, it's like, no.
Just,
going that
just a quick,
Just low, easy, and then he gets all nuts. So.